most of the things I read about myself are not true at all.
What does the voice in your head sound like?
Even if I feel great one day, I still see millions of people suffering.
What does love mean to you?
We all want to feel seen and we want to feel like we belong. Who doesn't want to hear I love you?
How can Chris go through depression?
The happiest people I've met are not famous or rich. That's not the answer.
What is the answer then?
I don't think I've ever told anyone this. I'm going to tell you this. It makes me cry.
With all the life that you've lived in, what would Chris's heart tell Chris?
No one ever asked me that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Assalamu alaikum.
We start with the salam. Usually I end with it, we'll start and end with it. So, first question is my classical question. How are you really doing, Chris?
Oh. Well, first of all, I'm very grateful to see you and thank you for chasing me around the world. Because I know you came to Korea and then I said, I can't do it today. So thank you for then coming to meet me in France.
Pleasure.
And I'm really grateful because I have a much more clear head today. Sometimes when we're in the middle of shows, I can't really think about interviews. And so first of all, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
And I think you're fantastic and your team is great. How am I doing really? Well, in my life, I'm trying to listen to the teachers that speak about being calm in the middle of all things. Because it seems to me that that's the only way to survive now. Because how I'm doing really is I'm great and I'm terrible. And I'm worried and I'm happy and I'm concerned and I'm angry and I'm hungry and it seems to me that I feel so many things all the time. And the teachers that I'm drawn to are the ones that say, okay, you feel all these feelings, but you step back and you observe them and you contain them at the same time. So I'm very in love and I'm very angry, or I'm very depressed about so many things, and I'm also very hopeful. So how am I really the answer is yes.
That's a very good answer because, people approach the question because it makes you pause. When you say, if I walk into the supermarket and say, hey, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? Like, it's such a casual, without a moment thought.
Yeah.
But when you say, how are you really, or how are you honestly doing? You're like, okay. Then you have to actually take a moment with your own self and be like, yeah, how am I? Like, because do we even ask ourselves that question any day alone, even alone? Like, how is today?
Yeah.
It's a strange thing. I try.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes how are you is just like hello.
It's casual.
Because if you were in the supermarket and you said to the cashier, how are you really? She'd say, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. And, on this, vulnerability has its place and moment. If I met you for the first time at that coffee shop and I tell you all of my vulnerable things, it would be awkward and weird. But if you start to earn vulnerability as a friend, you start to like me more. You're like, oh, Anas just shared something about his family that not a lot of people know. And then you share something about you, and that's vulnerability is earned, and it fortifies and builds a relationship.
Well, it's funny, I used to work in a supermarket when I was 19, and I worked in the section, well, you don't have this in Dubai, but in England, there's a section for alcohol and cigarettes. And that was my section. And I don't smoke and I don't drink. So the first few days, people would come in and they would speak another language. I'd be like, I don't know what you mean. And over time, I got to know some of the people who would come in every day, and they would start to be vulnerable. We were vulnerable with each other because you get comfortable. And also people who are needing alcohol every day, they have some things to talk about. So it was really, there was a point in the supermarket where it was a real, how are you really? But not day one.
Not day one.
Yeah. How are you really?
Me?
Yeah. You're traveling too much?
Traveling a bit. I say there's the nice busy and there's the not so nice busy.
Yeah.
The last period when I saw you the first time, it was really tricky. Like, sometimes I think you would maybe empathize or relate. You know you're heading to burnout, and you're lucky if you catch it before rather than after. And I knew, so I tried to reconcile.
Good.
Yeah, but I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Who are you?
Well, that's a great question. Do you want me to tell? I'll tell you the truth. The truth is that I've no idea. I don't know how I got here. I don't know how I do this. I don't know how my eyes got blue. I don't know how I was born. I'm part of the universe, just like you are. I'm connected to you and all things and in the middle of the mystery. That's who I really am, is I'm a very confused piece of the universe. And then who am I? I guess in this form, I'm a middle-aged singer, and that's it. So I'm two things. I'm a human, I'm a part of the universe having an experience of being human, and a human having an experience of trying to understand what's going on, with no success at all.
Your childhood, if you could summarize it in 3 words.
Yes, very white.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's one. Very white, we'll choose one.
I grew up in the west of England. Then also I had a time where I would go to Zimbabwe, where my mother is from, which is the complete opposite, and busy and chaotic and different types of people and different levels of income, and I'm very grateful for that, because I don't know if I would have known that the rest of the world existed if I just stayed where I grew up. There's a book called Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I always feel like the opening chapters, which are in a place called the Shire, and some people in the Shire, they don't really know anything about outside the Shire. I think that's kind of describing where I grew up. It's beautiful, and people are lovely, but I think you could feel a little bit like it's sort of a secluded paradise.
And I don't think a lot of people know that you're half English, half Zimbabwean.
I mean, we're all from Earth, really. But my mother is Zimbabwean and my grandfather. How do you define where you're from?
And the lines of countries are virtual lines that we've drawn on maps.
Yes.
But you go out in space, it's one planet with no boundaries, no borders.
That's really the truth.
Yeah. We drew them. When we come back to being one, have you seen that video on YouTube? It's called a pale pink dot or
yes,
blue. A pale
blue dot.
Blue dot.
Yeah.
And he talks about like the ego and the power thirst and how human beings are fighting, and you're just a speck of dust in this beautiful universe, and all of these wars and quabbles, and you're like, for nothing. For what?
Well, that goes back to your first question of who are you? Well, part of you is human, and part of being human is that we have all these crazy emotions and jealousy and rage and greed and fear and love and kindness and joy. So, but it's all part of the mystery. I don't know why we were designed to have these. For example, when you see the pale blue dot, or there's a picture called Earthrise, which is taken from the moon. And I forget which astronaut took that picture, but he thought once that photo went around the world that there would be peace, because everyone would realize, we share this one tiny place. But he said he got very depressed, because when he came back to Earth, and the photo was famous, but nothing changed. But that's, you can't criticize that, because that's maybe part of being human, is that we have very terrestrial feelings a lot. And then sometimes we remember, we're all essentially on one shipwreck together. But it's hard to remember that if you don't have enough food that day, or someone hurt you, or it's too cold, or your tooth hurts. Even the most Zen, spiritual, Buddhist, amazing, meditates. If there's a fly here, you have to. So our humanness is also beautiful, even though it's completely insane.
That's true.
Yeah.
You grew up in a religious conservative family,
Mm-hmm.
as I read, and some songs and some music was not allowed. Is that correct?
That's maybe going a little far.
Okay, then explain it for
I
me.
think some of that was maybe me. I think I took it a bit far.
Okay.
There were a couple of songs when I was about 15 I wouldn't sing. I was in a band doing covers, and they wanted to do some songs, and I said, I don't think I can sing that, because it was about evil or about the devil or whatever. And now I realize, it's just a song. But at the time, I
So how did you fall in love with music?
don't know. I just did.
Uh-huh.
And even those songs I refused to sing, I still love those songs. So, maybe don't you think we're all in love with music from the beginning?
I think I noticed some people are more musical than others. Like, I'm such a musical person with a shitty voice. I just love
me too.
music. Nah, let's not even go there. But
Did you ever meet anybody who doesn't like music at all?
yeah.
Really?
Like, I think it's like, maybe it's not I don't like polarizing things. So I wouldn't say, they might like it less, but they don't relate to it or connect to it too. But I do think music is a human nature thing, because if a baby starts to bounce when it hears a beat, I believe it's from God. It's just like it's natural,
Or if you look at it on a certain level, everything is vibration. Everything. So you're made of music in a way, even if you say you don't like it. But I don't know anyone that doesn't. Even the craziest dictators, they still have one piece of music where they're like,
one nice rap song. Yeah.
even if it's a march, you're the greatest leader.
Yeah.
They still.
That's so true. And
Those guys like marches.
Yeah, but I think it represents other things. Yeah,
Here's a tank. They still are having music.
that's true. Music is such a thing for me, and I get along with people who would connect with me also musically.
Yeah.
And when you say the term "we're vibing," it's a literal term.
Yeah.
Because if we bring a microscope and I look at your atoms, you're vibrating at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why we get along, and you don't get along with someone else.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. You had, I read, like a cool musical journey. I don't know if you started at 11, that's what I read, but you had a band called the Rocking Honkies, was it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a little embarrassing because none of us knew what that meant.
Okay.
I was 15.
15.
I played piano for a guy a year above me in school who loved blues and R&B and Motown. And I was the piano player in a band called the Rockin' Honkies. And I did not know what that meant until years.
I don't even know what it means.
A honky is a word for a white person.
Okay. Then you had something called pectorals?
No, that's a myth. That was a joke for a day.
And then is it Starfish correct?
Starfish was one concert, yeah.
Okay, and then Coldplay.
Yeah, then I was in a band called Stare, Identity Crisis, Bunga, the Red Rooster Boogie Band, lots of them. And then there was a time when if I did a song on my own, I would use my initials in the middle to respect my father and his father. But then I didn't like that.
Okay.
I mean, I like the respect, but I didn't like putting my initials.
Why did you guys call your band Coldplay?
I don't know.
Oh, really?
It's not a very good name, but it's our name.
Yeah.
My friend was reading a book of poetry and saw this word, like a weird word, and he said, "You can have this for your band."
And I think with me, Chris, and my ex, who was actually the person who introduced me to Coldplay, I did like this many years ago, but she's the one who's like,
So
this
she's
is a really
awesome.
good band. Yeah, she is cool. And she's gonna like this part.
And sometimes I look at our band name and what is that?
It's
somehow
everything else. It's everything else.
Right.
That's what I realized branding is. It's everything but. like it's all the emotions that are attached. Like you made Coldplay have a certain meaning on this planet. If I am a good guy, I give a certain credit to my name, and if I'm a certain guy, I give another story to my name.
What's your full name?
Anas Bukash.
No middle name.
Oh, there's my dad, Rashad.
Rashad. That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anas Rashad Bukash.
What does Rashad mean?
I think the person who's on the right, like, path.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. And yours?
Anthony John.
Okay.
Pretty boring.
No, it is what it is. Okay, so after, this was a question I was thinking. After the big rush and adrenaline that you could get on stage, is there a big crash after it?
Yeah. Especially if you're that kind of person where, that's why I don't drink and I don't smoke, because I have a lot of high and low anyway. And I have music, so that's like the best drug in the world for me. And then the bigger things get up here, the darker they get down here. So I have a lot of tools and teachers to help with those dark areas, which you have to go to then go back to the high of music and concerts. But it's a very odd life, and I have to work really hard to try and stay sort of in the middle. But I still go really up and then really down.
No.
How could you not? Because there's so much adrenaline, and when we do a big show now, it's so exciting, and also for me, it's giving me all this faith in humanity all the time. Like, oh, my job is watching people sing around the world. It's incredible. And then I stop doing that, then I get depressed about the news, or, oh, everyone hates each other, or... And so, no, this, I see this happening. So there's a natural high and a low, and then there's a kind of societal high and a low. So I believe in humanity, I don't believe in humanity. I believe in, you know.
My therapist taught me something this week. I was talking to him about, like after I had a 2.5-hour interview, but with live translation, so that was a bit tough because you're listening to two people at the same time. And after it, I got really irritated with my manager because we had work to do, and I'm like, listen, like I need at least 30 minutes. I would call them dumb, like dumb time. I want to be dumb. I want to really be stupid for a bit. And then the therapist put a name to it. He said, you know, even he was talking about singers. He's like, singers, a lot of them have alter egos or characters that they need to perform on a certain stage. So you can see themselves do something called the rite of entry. So let's say it's you tie your laces in a certain way or whatever you need to do to get into this zone, right? Even an athlete. But he's like, a lot of people don't speak about the rite of exit.
No, that's very true. I started that about 10 years ago because it was a real problem.
The exit?
The exit. I didn't have any exit strategy.
And you have to be aware of, I need 1, 2, 3 to feel I can zen back or regulate, you know?
Yeah.
Is Chris the one that is on stage in front of 50,000 or more people the same as the Chris off stage?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
That's good and rare.
I mean, I don't dance around when we're talking, and I don't say, what's up? And I speak a bit quieter. But I try not to have, maybe on stage is a bit more free. Because I really don't want to have any inhibition. So maybe off stage I have a little more caution of, or I might be a bit more nervous or a bit more shy. On stage I don't have that. I know, you know, I'm doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. So in a way, because I have a real sense of purpose and a mission, I can't get too insecure. Off stage, I'm human as well, so I have the same worries and insecurities, and so sometimes I feel like I wish I could be him all the time on stage, but then he wouldn't have anything to sing about.
True.
Or nothing to sing about that would be relevant to the audience. Because ultimately you're singing to try and explain or help the human experience. Like, this is how I feel about heartbreak, or this is how I feel about politics, or this is what I think about the universe, or, you know. If you don't have a real life outside of that, you can't really sing about anything.
A lot of what I read, I want to put out, so you help me from your point of view. So, if true or not. So I read that in maybe earlier stages, you could vomit before a show, you get anxiety or imposter syndrome. Is this true?
No.
Okay, good. You see, we need to quash a lot of these things.
Well, imposter syndrome is I think, for all of us all the time, because there is a part of us that is aware that you're not really Anas, I'm not really Chris. You know, we don't really know who we are, like we said. Maybe that's a bit of imposter syndrome. And I think at some points, maybe in anyone's life, you're like, how am I doing this? How am I in a stadium with all these people? I can't do this. But I sort of have got to, even when I was 11, when I first started to hear music, I just thought, well, this is a gift, so I don't think I'm anything special. I just have a gift. So I don't have imposter syndrome like that, and I never vomited or anything, no.
It's good to clear a lot of things that are on the internet.
I don't know. I mean, God bless journalists and people who write on the internet, but I have noticed in my life that most of the things I read about myself are not true at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. And if you don't speak, it's easier to throw things and
I like to do the occasional interview.
Yeah.
But I also understand the role of journalism and gossip, and it's candy and it's fun, but when you are a character in those stories, you're like, I don't know who that guy is. Or it's always like, a friend of him said. Well, I don't think that's true. But if you want to believe that I vomited and had, fine, I don't mind.
No, I'm listening live, so this is what I want to, only your words. I saw a video before your career, and it was so nice to see that you chose to be, you choose vulnerability very often, which I love. And you went online with, I think, an iPhone video, normal video, speaking about depression and what tools that you used to help you.
This was recently in Hong Kong.
I loved it. I saw it when I was in Korea. And you talked about transcendental meditation, which I've tried. You talked about so many tools that have helped you.
Yeah.
So I think, I was thinking, and actually one of my team said, how can like Chris go through depression? He has what society deems success. He has the love of millions. He has money, he has fame, he has. How can he go through depression? And I have, of course, my point of view on that. It's like Mike Tyson said, if someone thinks a lot of money made them happy, they've never had a lot of money.
Right, but do the voice.
No, don't, no, I'm not good. Maybe you should do. So yeah, like when somebody from the outside looks at your life and says, but how? Can you give them the POV or the insight?
Well, I can only speak for myself, although I want to try and empathize with every other human to understand their journey. I think that, let's take fame. If you grow up and you feel like, I think when we're growing up, we're all looking for the answer, what will make us happy? And some of us are like, if I'm famous, I'll be happy. Because I'll be popular, let's say. Everyone will know me, and that's going to fix all my problems. Then you realize, well, as we get more popular as a band, we also get more unpopular. So as more people love us, more people really hate us. So that cancels itself out. Money, of course, there's a certain level of money which allows you to eat and look after people, and that is amazing. After that point, it's not going to make you happy. It's maybe it's appealing to a part of you that is not that healthy. You know, if I could have 10 more cars or 10 more houses, I don't know if that is the answer. I've never seen anybody that made them really, truly happy. And I think wherever you are, you're still with yourself. And there's maybe the happiest people I've met are not famous or rich, but they're rich inside. And but I think it goes back to what we said earlier. Like, you're always a human, so you always have doubts and fears and worries and pain and illness and loss and grief. And I think there's different solutions for different people. But for myself, I have some good tools to just help me to step back and realize none of this really means anything. Fame, money, that's not the answer. And everything I do is given to me, so...
What is the answer then for you?
What is the answer to life?
No.
All right, for me.
For you to feel... I don't want to use the word happy because it could be... I would say... For Chris to have peace of mind and to feel content. And not maybe full, maybe none of us feel full, but full-ish.
I don't have peace of mind at all. It's crazy in here. And I'll tell you why, because even if I feel great one day, I still see millions of people suffering. And those people, we're one family. We really are one family. Now, that's not popular to say right now, because it's easier right now to retreat to your tribe and blame everybody else for your trouble. And the truth is that suffering is the first rule of Buddhism. You're human, so you will suffer. And it isn't necessarily the fault of that other group. It's just part of being human. So I don't have peace of mind because I'm human. And I don't have peace of mind because I see us fighting and blaming and people suffering. So, but I have peace of mind because I understand, well, that's part of the game. And you have to accept that before you can do anything else. So I'm so grateful and so happy, and I love my life. Are you kidding? I'm so lucky. And there's a lot of pain around. And it would be strange if you didn't acknowledge it or understand or try and help or look at it. Or I don't want to live on a desert island and ignore everything that's happening, because we're all a family. Do you agree or not agree?
I agree very much. And I was thinking of how much like empathy, Chris has... Some people ask me, how can you do this show? Like, you've done over 300 guests and you hear really some disturbing stories at times. And I think I'm just wired in a way that I'm not as empathetic, but more sympathetic. Like, I can actually see it from outside, but like feel, but not immerse. And I think that keeps me sane and I don't fall in the hole. So I'm kind of fortunate about it that I can keep doing those interviews without saying I need 3 months off, because I can't, it's just too much. So why am I talking about this? Because a certain level of empathy is so necessary for us to do better for this world, to feel or try to feel for people that are struggling so much. But how much is it affecting you? Is it crippling you, or is it affecting you for you to make a change? It's kind of what you said. First you have to acknowledge, but then you have to do something, hopefully, about it, whether it's awareness or help, or I don't know. You spread love a lot. You talk. I've been to three or four of your concerts, and I love how you're inclusive.
And you didn't pay for any of those tickets?
No, I have.
You did?
I paid for things.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yes. I did my dues. I did Milan, Abu Dhabi twice, and Korea. Yeah, 4.
I'm paying to do this interview.
You are?
I'm paying you a lot of money.
Love.
Because you said I didn't want to. You said I don't want to interview you.
We're paying this.
I said please.
Paying this.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with you. I feel like empathy is the
But how much do you feel that can it make you crumble? You know, like if you really feel, you're destroyed. Like, I don't know.
That's not my experience is the more I empathize, the less I have to hate anybody. And hatred is much more tiring for me. Empathy for me is the step towards love, which is really, it seems to me, the only answer. As I get older, I feel like that's really the only answer is love. Now, I don't mean that in a kind of, I mean as in, how can you love what's happening? How can you love this person that you don't agree with? How can you love this situation, which is terrible? As opposed to hating something, which probably means you'll add conflict to a conflict, or you'll add aggression to aggression. And that doesn't work. That's adding fire to fire. So to me, love just means what is the action in this situation which will increase understanding and connection. Now, that's easy for me to say because that's my job. And I see I see that every day when we're touring, and I see it all around the world in different places. So it's very easy for me to say, oh, you just find the thing to love in every person, or you empathize with why you don't like them. You know, I don't like this person, but why? How are they this way? So I can love their journey. You know, that I have a much easier perspective on that because I mainly see people singing and dancing.
The problem with, like you said, hate, it's like a cancer. It eats at you before anybody. It's a burden on you before the other. The other is probably chilling. You're the one suffering. What is it? What was it? Healed people heal people, hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people. Yeah, that is really true. So right now in the world, it's tempting to. It's so easy to hate everybody. So maybe the opposite is the answer. You know, I think for people of my generation, Nelson Mandela is the most important figure because of his idea of truth and reconciliation. That when he came out of prison after 28 years, instead of hating everybody and killing people and putting people in jail, he said, okay, we'll sit together and we'll talk about our experiences. That is the most powerful. That's how you become great. That's a great man. Wow. Like 28 years in prison, and you're going to come out and listen to the story of your captor. Now, if that's Nelson, if he can do that, then anyone can do that. Especially if, like you were saying earlier, especially if you have a job like we both do, where you just travel around the pale blue dot and you realize this is a tiny place and we're all together. And if you go back 20 generations, we probably share some ancestors. And if you go back 30, we definitely share. There is no us and them. That's an illusion created by people who want to have power. And they want that power because they got damaged and they feel like they need power to be. It's all, you know, you can love everybody if you work hard enough, but it's hard work.
You know, I did my DNA test and was so diverse.
Are you my brother?
Probably cousin
Okay.
somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. And I was thinking, Chris, like, how can anybody be claiming purity or like, I'm just from this country, we're only from here? Like, nobody, you're all so mixed.
Yeah.
It's like you have, theoretically, you can't be racist. You can't. You're not supposed to because you're so mixed. You can't claim that you're only from one tiny area and nobody.
Because you're not.
You're not. So I remember taking my screenshot and putting it on my social, and I wrote a whole caption like, I don't understand where racism comes from. And the moment you realize that we're all mixed.
Well, so you know, so you have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great. By the time you get to 20, you have a million people.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to 30 generations, you have, whatever it is, more people than there were on Earth at that time. So the concept of race is made up. It's just not real.
There's this weird survival mechanism with humans. I think it goes back to maybe the caveman. Like, you know, it's the penalty was ousting somebody or kicking them out of your tribe. So humans have this natural instinct to like, hey, we're a group. We love hip hop. You like R&B, and you start to create these cliques against each other. It's very natural, but it's not good.
No, but don't you think that comes from a sense of we all want to feel seen and we want to feel like we belong? And 8 billion people is too big of a group to feel like you belong to. It's easier to feel like I belong to this. We wear black pants and sunglasses and we call ourselves the friendly brothers. That's my group. And really the group is human, but it's hard to feel special in a gang of 8 billion.
That's true.
But you are in that gang, I think. But like I said, I also respect that I have a very privileged perspective and I travel all the time and I meet literally millions of people. So it's easy for me to say that.
You know, I'm not going to take too much on this, but a lot of people ask me, why do you do this show? And I realize we're probably, I don't want to claim it, but most probably the most diverse interview show because of the variety of human beings that have been. Like, it's crazy. I even live translate just to get another human that doesn't understand me. I want to make people feel not alone, that there is, if you talk about depression, somebody's watching this and be like, oh, I went through something like that. So I'm not alone. No, you're not alone. And if I sit with a guy in Africa or Taiwan and I ask him about love, about success, about family, he's human. He's going to stay for another half an hour telling me, because we all share that. And if I can do that via my show, I increase empathy. And I read it in the comments. They'll be like, I love Chris, now I love him more. Or I hated this person, but now I like them. I'm like, you see?
I used to see that all the time with my father because he grew up in the Second World War. So he grew up hating German people and said, the Germans. And then anytime we would go on a camping holiday in Europe, sometimes we would come to France actually and go camp in a tent. And he would always make best friends with German people. And they would have the best time. So I saw, there's the kind of received, like, this is supposed to be your enemy, and then there's the actual human connection. And when you meet, some of his best friends are German now. But he grew up like, I must remember to hate the Germans.
I must remember to.
Yeah. And only by the privilege of travel or connection can you see, well, that's not real. That the concept of them, us and them is only works when you don't actually meet them. But if you're lucky enough to meet people, it's very hard to hate anybody or to think of them as different. You know, the most important story that I ever learned as a kid, and I'd say this to me is how I feel about life in general. If you ask me to summarize what I think about human life, it would be this. This is a very famous story where I come from, but maybe not where you come from. In the First World War, in 1914, there was a big frenzy. We're going to have a war. And everyone had all these arms and guns, and war was seen as very, great. Let's have a war, maybe, by some people. And so the First World War started, and all these young men, young men, filled with national pride, and we have to go and destroy the Germans, and all the young Germans we have to destroy, all in a excitement. We have to beat these people and kill them. On Christmas Day, 1914, all the guns, they stopped firing. And the English soldiers heard the German soldiers singing Silent Night, the carol, Silent Night, or Stille Nacht in German. And then they started singing, and they both came up and met in the middle of the battlefield and played soccer and talked to each other. It's a very famous story where we come from. And that to me and they had Christmas together. It makes me cry. And then the next day, all the big bosses, they heard and they said, you can't do that anymore. Because it broke through all of the silly stuff that we do as humans was erased for that day. And we were taught that in school, and I think for me that always is the thing that gives me hope, is that underneath everything, underneath all the constructions of countries, nationalities, race, religion, all the things that keep us cleverly divided by some clever sociopathic people, underneath all that is a shared connection and a shared experience and a shared love and a shared fear. And I'm lucky that my job, I see that every day. That's my favorite story about humans. Yeah. Christmas Day, 1914. The end. Okay, let's go home.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
Love means, first of all, being very kind to yourself. And unless there's some crazy sociopathic thing or some super trauma that makes you do something terrible, to accept yourself, whatever you might be, to love yourself first of all. That, I think, makes it much easier to accept everyone else for who they are and let them be who they want to be. So I think maybe love is quite a lot to do with acceptance.
Okay.
I think love is not wanting anybody to suffer and doing everything you can to stop suffering in yourself and in other beings. Maybe, I don't know, I'm making this up on TV.
But that's the
No
cool
one ever
thing.
asked me that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the most beautiful mysteries of this world, you know? What is love? Is it selflessness versus selfishness? Is it they paint the most popular form of it is the romantic form, but is it the only form? And when you truly love someone, are you lusting? And the moment you break up, you're not asking about them. So was that ever love? You know?
Ram Dass, who was this teacher in America who studied in India, he said, when you fall in love with somebody, it's called falling in love. And when you meet that person, then everything you see, the trees are so beautiful, the birds, the sound of the Dubai docks or whatever, everything. He said, what if you could exist in that state all the time and you didn't need somebody else to put you there? So I think when I say love is acceptance, it's also just seeing the beauty and the magic in everything. And when you see the beauty and the magic, you don't want to hurt anything or anybody. And I think that also must apply to yourself. So it's selfless and selfish, because I would argue that most people that hurt people are not feeling good about themselves.
I believe so. Okay, these are more... Hopefully, I don't know, more fun. I don't know. Let's see. What is the most emoji you use?
The most emoji, the emoji I use the most? Heart.
Which color?
Depends on the person.
Okay, nice.
But only one person gets like the deep red heart.
Yeah. There are two reds, by the way. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, there's shiny red and not shiny.
Yeah, I like the one that is a bit more rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool one. Well, who was your favorite cartoon character?
My favorite... Well, I think I have to say Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I just think he's one of the most beautifully constructed characters in all of creativity, because he's so human and such a, does stupid things and makes mistakes, but his heart is good. He'll always make the right decision in the end. And I think maybe that's why he's so popular. I think that's all of us, we hope. And he's angry and he's just, like you say, he's full of all the emotions, but ultimately he will always do the right thing.
I've never got that answer. Describe a fun date that only cost $20.
A fun date that only costs to go walking through a forest and then swim in the ocean.
I like. What is the fear or insecurity you've struggled with throughout your life?
I have a pretty much constant feeling of failure. I feel like I've been given a lot and I don't feel I've delivered enough. That's pretty much all day, every day.
So that keeps you producing and being driven? Has it reduced with time?
No.
Really? If you go way back? That's the same?
I mean, it's hard to explain because I love what we do and I love our band so much. But maybe you're right. Maybe it keeps me. Well, maybe we'll get better now. But yeah, it's a sort of. I hold both. I hold that we're amazing, and I hold that I should have done a lot better.
Okay. If you could wake up anywhere tomorrow, where would it be?
Yes.
Just planet Earth?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What's the most important lesson you learned from fame?
From fame, that doesn't mean anything.
What is
Oh
it?
no, I'll tell you. So, it's not being famous at all. It's what you do to be famous or not famous. Like, it's the thing, not the fame. Meaning,
Not
there
fame, yeah.
there are incredible nurses who are not famous, but they are to be celebrated. If you take the word celebrity, meaning someone you should celebrate, you can find those people everywhere. So if you're famous for doing something amazing, great. If you're famous for doing something not so amazing, not great.
What is the weirdest dream you've ever had?
I wake up a lot, so I have a lot of dreams every day, so there's too many.
Too many weird ones?
I mean, they're all extraordinary. I'll give you, yesterday I was water skiing, kind of water skiing, behind a submarine being driven by an actor called Stephen Graham, who is in that show Adolescence, which is amazing. And for some reason, in the control room of his thing, he had all these board games. And then we landed. That's just a fraction of one dream. I don't know where that comes from.
It's pretty cool.
It was not even water skiing. It was like, what's the thing where you have a parachute behind a boat?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was holding onto a bar and the submarine or whatever. I don't know what that means. My favorite dreams are song dreams where in the dream is a song, normally being sung by somebody else. And in the dream, I'm like, oh, that's such a good song. And then I wake up and I realize, oh, that's a new song.
Okay.
That happened the other day on a song called A Good Day. And in the dream, I was like, oh, that song is so good. And it was being played by an artist called Tom Waits. And I woke up and I was like, oh, wait, that's... So then I went to work it out. Those are fun dreams.
What does the voice in your head sound like?
Well, that goes back to our first... It's a lot of voices. And I'm trying to learn to be the listener. Yeah.
What used to make you happy and doesn't make you happy anymore?
Chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have chocolate anymore?
I do, but in a different way. And maybe that's not true. Maybe it didn't make me happy. I would have said sugar, but I don't know if it really made me happy. And I think it still makes me a bit happy. So I'm not really answering your question.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have an answer for that question.
This I think you like. If you could teach every child in the world one lesson, what would you teach them?
That's the best question ever. Sorry, there is no situation that love will not improve.
I know what you mean.
None.
So there's no situation where love will not enhance the situation.
Exactly. That love is always the best option if you can get there. Sometimes, like you said, you're in your fight or flight, you're like, fuck you, I fucking hate you.
Ego.
But ultimately, even if someone is really attacking you and you say, I hear you, God, I'm sorry, I love you. You know, what can they do?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to hear I love you? Maybe that's a very simplified way, but there's no situation that I would not recommend love being the best approach.
I would say this, and I've done a lot of interviews, it's in my top 3 best answers to this question.
What are the other two answers?
One I remember, and one I'm just keeping for contingency.
Okay.
One that I remember is he said emotional regulation.
Okay.
And I thought that was really good. Like
Yeah.
if we can teach children, because a lot of mistakes happen because of a tantrum or really
Yeah.
angry or really happy. So I'm like, man, if we can teach kids just to like take a moment, go for a walk, breathe, I think a lot of bad decisions would be avoided. A slap or a hit or a fight or...
It's really the same answer.
It falls in the same bucket.
Yeah.
And this, yeah, you know, and your answer is very unique, just like you.
I would also say in the age of texting that a smaller version of what I'm telling you is never respond to an angry text immediately. You have to you have to have your anger, release that, and then respond. It's the same thing. It's all emotional regulation. Because we all get texts like, what? and you never feel good.
It's so hard to fight kindness. It's
Hey?
so hard to fight kindness. It's really
It's hard to fight kindness, yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's easy to fight a fight. Like if
Yeah.
I say something bad about you and you say something, oh, it's so easy. You're making it easy. We're just going volcano. But if you just, it's like water and fire. In any healthy relationship, when one of us is fire, the other has to be water. Otherwise,
Yeah.
but if somebody says,
True.
you know what, I love you, I'm not leaving, I'm just gonna go for a walk, I still respect you.
Yeah,
But
that's
can
beautiful.
Can I go for a walk? Because I don't wanna say something to her because I actually love you. You go, 20 minutes.
Wouldn't that be great if we could all do that all the time?
At least more. Maybe
More.
never, not always,
Yeah.
but more.
Well, all of these things are aspirational.
Yeah, but achievable, huh? We can try. Okay, so which 3 people, dead or alive, would you choose to have dinner with on a table?
Bob Marley,
Okay, nice.
I think just him actually.
Only you two?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, there's something about Bob Marley for me that's like the perfect, no humans are perfect in their imperfection. Of course, he was a human man. But I think that the fact that his parents were who they were and that one was a white plantation owner and a Jamaican lady, and it can't be a mistake that the child they had has brought more peace to the world than any other musician. That you can go anywhere in the world and play Bob Marley and people will not be upset, they will be into it. There's just no... I walked past someone yesterday playing bass on the river here. He was just playing bass to a Bob Marley song. Could You Be Loved, I think. But if you went to Iceland or you went to Sudan or to Korea or to Colombia, and he said, do you mind if we listen to... Everyone will be like, okay. And that is magical. And he was a product of trauma and conflict, and the music he sings about is really, it's about freedom, of course. Everyone should be free. And it's about love. So just Bob Marley, please. And Rita, his wife, actually.
I have a fun story. Just 3 weeks ago, I was walking in Stockholm for the first time. I was there for an event. And we're walking, and all the coffee shops close around, I think, 4 p.m. They don't stay longer, not like the Arab world, where they drink coffee like at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Anyways, we see a cafe called Marley Cafe.
Right.
I'm like, okay. So I go in, and the guy goes, you know, bro, we're gonna be closing. And he's like, where are you from? I said, I'm from Dubai. He's like, yeah, you know, I became Muslim recently. I'm like, okay, you know, hi. And we start to talk. And he's like, you know what? And I see all Bob Marley posters and Bob Marley shirt. And it's beautiful, because I like Bob Marley, so I have all of that. I'm like, what's going on? And he goes, I used to be the young DJ with him.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. So he starts to show me all his Facebook pictures, like old pictures. And he's like, you know what? I'll make you a coffee.
That's nice.
You know, just stay. And he makes us a Jamaican beans coffee. And we have this beautiful chat. And he's like, no, don't post me on social. I like my piece this way. And I love just chatting with it. Because I told him, can we do like a quick street interview. Just you have an interesting life. He's like, no, just like let's just take a normal picture, but I don't want to talk. I don't want any popularity. So it was a nice moment, like how random in Stockholm, a Marley Cafe with the DJ who used to sometimes play.
Right, but there you go. Bob Marley united a guy from Dubai and a guy from Jamaica and in Sweden.
Yeah.
That's magical to me. Bob Marley sort of transcends all of the made-up division that we have.
You know what I think is pretty cool, Chris? When what you do for a living is bigger than the genre you're in. So Muhammad Ali, bigger than boxing.
Yeah.
Coldplay, bigger than music. Not being nice.
You are.
No. I'm not that flattering.
Let's leave Coldplay out because how come I can't comment on that?
No, you don't need to comment.
Bob Marley, for sure.
I can share what I feel towards you, and I hope you take a compliment when it's genuine. You are doing something with your fame. You are trying to. I've been listening when I go to your concert. I see what you're trying to do with the small details, with the inclusivity, with who comes on stage, whether she's a hijabi or not, whether she's from another country, and they speak, and you're giving people a moment. And I think that's beautiful in sometimes, like you said, a turbulent world where you sit there, you have how many nationalities in your concert? It's crazy.
2. Okay, I don't think I've ever told anyone this. I'm going to tell you this. I try and approach all people with love, even people I don't agree with or have hurt me or I've hurt them or something, or who hate our music or who hate whatever. I'm trying to live what I'm telling you, which is love is the best, but it's hard work and I make mistakes.
No, it's beautiful what you said, but it came under the topic of what I said, that it's great when you are bigger than your genre. When your mission is bigger, like if Muhammad Ali was bigger than boxing, Diego Maradona was bigger than football. This is important because then even the person who doesn't care about the sport listens to you. You're influencing something. Well, Bob Marley was an example you brought. Let's do one question random. Can you mix this for me? I'll choose one, and then you get to answer it. Once it's mixed. You mixed?
No, I didn't mix them at all. But what is mixing doesn't make any difference. I've never seen these before.
I know.
You want me to
then you choose one, and I'll ask it.
Okay.
Which one do you want me to choose?
You choose one.
Okay, I'll choose one.
Okay, now don't show it to me.
Oh, this is good.
I think the question is...
Right, not... So this is the way to answer. I'll get this. So once I ask, you throw that, and that's how we answer.
Okay.
If you had the chance to be reborn, would you choose your life again? Throw. Story.
Story?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like answer in the form of a story.
Answer in the form of a story?
Yeah.
If
you had the chance to be reborn, would you choose your life again?
And would I know that I'd already lived it once?
Now you're making asking the question more complex. I don't know. That's an extra question.
Well, so no.
Okay, knowing what you've been through and in this life, would you choose it again or you choose another life?
I don't like this question.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, so let's do another one.
Okay, let's do another one. Okay. Now you choose.
Okay.
Because you didn't like my hand. What is it?
What's the one thing you wish you could have done differently? Okay.
Be open.
Be open. Oh, that's no problem.
All right.
Yeah. There have been times in my life where I've hurt people without meaning to, or without even realizing. Going back to school even, sometimes when I was not happy, I think I was probably mean to a couple of people, not very often, but even once is too much. That there are certain things that I've said that basically any time I've been mean about somebody, I would do that differently. Definitely any time I've been mean to somebody, even if I was really angry with somebody, I would now do that differently. And like we said earlier about the taking a minute to calm down. So the times when I've been led by fear or anger, I would have tried to wait until the fear and the anger had subsided before communication.
What is a thing that you're holding on to but you know you should let go of?
I don't know, maybe just being a famous musician. I don't know. I'm trying to let go of everything.
Really?
Yeah, but I still do love my job. I love it. And maybe that's not good.
Do you not love what comes with it as a package, like the
No, I
tax?
love all of it.
Ah,
Even all of the nonsense. I'm so grateful. I love it. I love our band. I love what we do. I love the songs that come through. I love where we get to go. I love the view of the world that it gives us. I love that we see in South Korea the same reaction to a song that we see in Argentina, that we see in Abu Dhabi, that we see in Washington, D.C., that we see in Scotland. So we see the thing that connects humans more than most people see. I love it. But so maybe that means I'm attached to it, and yeah.
so you'd answer it that you want to let go of that, but not?
Well, I want to.
How can we
I
understand?
don't know. These are deep questions.
That's the point of this.
I think I need to let go of feeling like I need that, and just be able to appreciate when it's there.
Okay.
So not to be attached to needing it,
Just wanting it.
not wanting it, just being grateful
My
for
point is there's a difference between need and want.
it. Do you think so?
Yeah. So,
Okay. What is the difference?
so the need is you don't feel complete without it. I need this. I need him to make me happy. I need to be not be
Right.
alone.
So I'd like to just want it. Yeah.
Want, yeah. Want is like I don't need it, but
Yeah.
I would like it.
I'm getting there. So I'm about here,
Okay.
nearly there.
Okay. Who is someone you've lost, and every time you remember them, your heart aches?
In terms of death or romance?
That. Actually, the interesting thing is with romance, it's like they're still here, but it's grief also.
Yes. In many ways, it's worse.
Because they're there. Yeah, you're right.
But then not, because you can be friends or something. Who knows?
No, passed away.
Well, but even we don't even know the answer to that, because
Where are they?
you could see them again. We don't know. But in terms of you asking who the person is,
Who's someone that passed, and every time you remember them, your heart aches?
there's a few people. I've lost a few friends actually over a number of years. But I had a very, very close friend called Matt, who was really like, he was my trainer for a long time actually. But he was a beautiful guy, and we would meditate together and do, we also learned a lot of stuff together, yoga and meditation and breath work, and a lot of the tools that really helped me, I learned with this guy, Matt. And he got cancer in his arm, age 38, and he died 18 months ago. And that's the first person I've ever been with when they died. And my heart aches only because it was so fun to hang out with him every morning, and we would train and meditate and go in the ocean if we were by the ocean. And so it was almost like having a play date in my 40s. So I miss my play friend. But I'm so grateful because my best male friends are all still here, touch wood. In terms of the rest of the band and Phil.
When was the last time you hugged your dad?
3 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll add 2 questions and finish. If I take your heart and I place it out with all the life that you've lived in, the good, the bad, the beauty, the love, what would Chris's heart tell Chris?
Stay open.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's okay to be hurt sometimes. It's worth it. Staying open, like an open palm. Sometimes people take, but most times people give. And I think my heart would say, I'm happy that we've stayed open and we'll continue to. And the odd hurt is okay.
And my last question. Chris, in one word.
Chris, in one word, I don't know.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah. I'll tell you next time.
No. No. I'll
Well,
make
what's
it...
one word for you?
No, I can't answer for you. I'll
No,
make it
one
easy.
word for you.
I never answer my questions. If me and you are sitting here or in the street and we see Chris walk and I tell you, you know that guy, can
Do you know the film Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one word for me is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I'll give you that because it suits your character.
All right, my brother. Shukran.
That's all.
Thank you.
I enjoyed
Okay, next time I'll interview you for 6 hours.
it. I don't mind. But I don't know if you want to find me interesting or not.
Very. Most times the interview is more interesting than the person.